What's going on, guys? Anthony Vargas here. In today's video, I'm going to start by dissecting a couple of books that I'm reading at the moment. These two books are both by John C. Maxwell. The first is The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, and the second is 21 Indispensable Qualities of a Leader. Now, I've read the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership already. I'm just going over it again because in this particular book, John Maxwell mentions that it's a good idea to kind of go through them both at the same time. And it also doesn't hurt to kind of review the material that you've read previously. So this is going to kind of be like a series of videos that I do. The reason being is that they're both 21 chapters. So to go over two books in one long video, which are both containing 21 chapters, would just be a really long video, take a lot of time. So I'm going to keep it short and simple and to the point and cover chapters 1 through 3 of both books today. That way I don't bore you guys to death. So what I'm going to do first is go over the first law, and then the first quality, and then second law, second quality, third law, third quality, so on and so forth throughout the series. And like I said before, in this particular video, I'm going to go over chapters 1 through 3 in both of the books. So chapter 1 of the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership is the law of the lid. The law of the lid states that a person's leadership ability is the lid that determines that person's level of effectiveness. So that means that the lower the ability of a person to lead, then the lower the lid of his potential. And the opposite is true. The higher the potential, or the higher the ability of a person to lead, the higher the lid on his potential. If your leadership ability is at about an 8, then your level of effectiveness can never go higher than a 7. Same thing is true if it's a little bit higher, if it's a little bit lower. If your leadership ability is at about 5, then your level of effectiveness can never go higher than a 4. So your leadership ability always determines your level of effectiveness and your potential impact on an organization. Next, we have quality number 1. Quality number 1 is character. So how you deal with certain situations is going to reveal a lot about your character and who you are as a person. So John Maxwell goes over a few characteristics of character, the first of which is that character is more than talk, which basically means that actions speak louder than words. Number 2 is that talent is a gift, but character is a choice. Every day from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed, you're making a series of choices and decisions day in and day out, which ultimately is going to lead to your character. Number 3 is that character brings lasting success with people. People want to follow other people or leaders who are trustworthy. They don't want to follow someone who they don't like or they don't trust, who are kind of shady, so on and so forth. So if you want to have long-lasting relationships with people, you need to have good character. Number 4 is that leaders cannot rise above their limitations of character. So if you don't have a solid set of principles or values, morals that you follow, then it's going to be very difficult for you to achieve a certain level of success. That being said, you want to make sure that you're always learning and growing so that you can become the person that you want to be in the future. The true measure of leadership is influence. If you have to tell people that you're a leader, you're not a leader. Leadership is not a title or a position that you hold. It cannot be awarded to you or assigned to you or anything like that. You have to go through a process and it must be earned. So what makes a leader? In his book, 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, John Maxwell describes a certain list of characteristics and traits that leaders possess. The first is character, or who they are. Next is relationships, who they know. Third is knowledge, what they know. Fourth is intuition, what they feel. Fifth is experience, where they've been. Sixth is success, what they've done. And seventh is ability, or what they can do. Quality number 2 is charisma. Charisma is the ability to draw people to you. In the book, John Maxwell gives 4 pointers for those who want to be able to develop charisma. The first is a love of life. So people are drawn to other people who are enjoying life, who are very full of energy and vitality. And think about your own personal life. Would you rather hang out with someone like that, someone who has a bubbly personality, who's very outgoing and just enjoys life? Or do you enjoy hanging out with people who are depressed or down in the dumps all the time? The second is to put a 10 on every person's head. So what that means is basically you expect the best from people and you always see the good in them. This also means that you appreciate them, you encourage them, and you help them to reach their full potential. Number 3 is to give people hope. You want to be a hope dealer. You want to inspire and motivate others to be the best they can be and to always know that they can do more in life. And number 4 is to share yourself. You want to give of yourself. You want to share your wisdom, your resources, and special occasions with people that you're close to, people that you work with, people that you care about. Law number 3 is the law of process. The law of process is basically saying that Leadership is developed daily and not in a day. Successful leaders are learners, and improvement requires self-discipline and perseverance. In his book, John Maxwell lists several phases that people go through in order to grow into a leader. The first phase is I don't know what I don't know. If you don't know what you don't know, you aren't going to be able to grow. Number 2 is I know that I need to know. This is the point where you realize that if you want to be a good leader, there's going to be some things that you have to learn in order to become that person to lead an organization, a group of people, so on and so forth. Number 3 is I know what I don't know. This is the point where you can make a decision to either go through the process to be a leader, or you can stay right where you're at and go no further. Number 4 is I know and grow, and it starts to show. At this particular phase, you're going through the process, you're developing those daily habits, and it's starting to show not only to yourself, but the people around you. And number 5 is I simply go because of what I know. At this phase, at this level, everything is automatic. You develop those habits day in and day out, and now you're going to start reaping the rewards because of all the effort that you put through the process of becoming a leader. So you can become a leader, but as mentioned before, it's a process, so it's not going to happen overnight. Again, it's going to take perseverance and self-discipline, and overall it takes a lifetime to achieve. The third quality is commitment. If you want to be an effective leader, you have to be committed. True commitment inspires and attracts people to you. So commitment starts in the heart. In his book, John Maxwell gives an example of when he learned about the Kentucky Derby and the horse jockey and the horse, and how in the first half of the mile, the horse just runs out of oxygen. And from that point on, it basically finishes the race from pure heart. Now, heart is what separates the good from the great. I'm sure you've seen it, whether it's been in sports like individual basketball players like Michael Jordan, for example, or the team as a whole. They come back from a huge deficit and they just pull out a win when everyone counted them out. That takes pure heart, and that shows true commitment. Commitment is tested by action. The only real measure of commitment is by the actions that you take. So taking the right actions day in and day out is going to prove to everyone around you that you're committed. And commitment opens the door to achievement. If you stay committed and you follow the process day in and day out, eventually it's going to open doors which lead to new opportunities and ultimately lead you to achieving your goals and your dreams. So that wraps up the first video of this series. Thank you all for watching so much. If you found value out of this video, please like and subscribe, and look out for the next few videos that I put out in the next coming weeks. Also, if you wouldn't mind, please share this on your social media pages, because I'm sure there's someone else out there that could find value out of this as well. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next video. Peace.